From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop CBB PrimeTime Capper, and it is the day before Christmas Eve and everything. And pretty much we have ourselves another jam-packed Thursday full of the NFL, college football, college basketball, and also the NBA tonight as well, too. So we are getting ourselves closer and closer to the holiday weekend and everything like that. So I'm excited. I hope you are as well, too. And we got a great show for you guys. I almost wasn't able to get it on for you guys today because we had such a long show, and then I had to go ahead and try to write notes and all that good stuff. So, but I'm here. Let's go ahead and rock out, and let's go ahead and get into our first. And sorry, no pictures today. I didn't have enough time. I just trying to make sure we get this show on the road. And here we are, the Cotton Bowl, national semis. You got Cincinnati going against Alabama. Number 4 is Cincinnati, 13-0. Alabama is number 1 in the nation. Now, when you look at the numbers for this game, you got a Cincinnati team coming in here 8-5 against the spread, and in their 13 games this season, they went under 7 out of those 13 games. All their games, they were a favorite, so they don't know what it's like to be an underdog this season. They went 13-0 and were able to win 13 games straight up, the only undefeated team in the nation right now as well, too. And as Rodney Dangerfield would say, they get no respect. And I think at right now you can't. I know I'm going to sound crazy right now when I say this, but honestly, 'tis the season for a monster upset. Now, let me tell you why. I feel that Cincinnati, I know Alabama's all world. They have everything you're supposed to have to be a juggernaut, a great team, great coach, great quarterback, great running back, great offensive line. But that defense, though, that's not a regular Bama defense. That's not one of these defenses where you're going to say, I got 5 guys in the first round off this defense. You'll be lucky if you get 5 in the 5th round off this defense. This defense is not the regular Nick Saban type of bunch. They give up a lot of points, to be honest, okay? And people have to understand the calling card for the Cincinnati Bearcats is their defense. Yes, they've never seen an offense like Bama before, but this is my point. I feel Ritter and Bryce are the same type of quarterback. And so if you have a defense that has to go at that quarterback every day, first team defense, they're going to be prepared. And I really do feel that I know a lot of people are excited about the kid because he won the Heisman, all that good stuff. And he looked really good this season, but I still don't think he was a better quarterback this year than CJ Stroud, who was absolutely like, you could draft him right now. He could start on the Jets, like seriously. But with Bryce Young, I think that you would still have to, kind of work him into the situation. You couldn't put him right in the NFL right now, in my opinion. And I think that, we saw some flaws in his game, but nobody wants to talk about that part. I think that Cincinnati can go ahead and expose some things, and maybe if they don't win the game, they'll damn sure cover. I'm telling you right now, this is the game this is the biggest game in school history. For Alabama, this is just another national semifinal. So sometimes when this game means so much more to you, and this is just the norm for the other team, you have to think that the upset could be on the horizon. But I'll keep it honest with you, though. If Cincinnati doesn't score on their first drive, they don't have a shot at all. And if they don't stop the Bama on at least their first 2 drives, they don't have a shot. So we can all just pray and hope, but the dog, I don't know about the dog barking, but it is a big dog, and I like it, man. So I'm going to take the plus 13.5 on Cincinnati, and I think that it's a good bet, to be honest. And I might be a little silly on game day and throw out that monster money line as well too. You never know. So let's go ahead and move on. And also this season, Bama was 6-6 against the spread. See, I don't like those numbers. 7-6 against the spread. They went under in 7 out of their 13 games as well too. And as a favorite, they're 11-1, and against the spread, they're 6-6, and they're even as on the over and under. So they it's not like they were going out there and just beating down everybody. You know what I mean? They really had to go. They really had to go about it this season. It was kind of a different situation with them this year. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. And this is why I keep saying the SEC wasn't that good, because if they were, I think there could have been if there was another really good team in the SEC, they could have possibly beat Alabama. And yes, this sounds crazy right now, but really, let's cut on the game tape, and you can see that Alabama is really just beating people because it's like Mike Tyson. The moment they walk through the tunnel, you're beat, right? But if you sit up there and actually punch them in the face, we might have a different situation going on here. Ask Auburn. Auburn was very close to beating them. So, hey, right now, you only look as good as you looked last time. And I really do feel like Georgia laid down so early in that game for Bama, and it didn't make a difference. They knew that they were going to be playing in the Final Four. They're playing for they pretty much said, we're playing for a national championship. We could care less about the SEC. So it is what it is. All right, so we move on, and we have ourselves the Orange Bowl, the national semis, game 2. And these games are going to both be played on the 31st as well, too. So just note that these games are New Year's Eve games. So pretty much we have a very good Michigan team coming in here, number 2 in the nation, rightfully so. You have Georgia, who got dropped to number 3. I don't think that was right, but you couldn't have these two teams be 1 and 2. It just wouldn't look right. So they're 12-1 coming into the game. And this is the matchup right here. See, the first game is what everybody feels like will be, this season's sweetheart against the juggernaut. But this game right here will determine who is going to really give, if Bama wins, who's going to give Bama the true challenge here in this Final Four. And as we can see, Georgia wasn't up for the job earlier this year. But you know what? It's all new now. They've seen the tape. They know how to combat Alabama in the next run. But I'm going to be dead honest with you, though. I would rather not see another SEC national title game. And this is coming from a person, and you guys know me, I never toot the horn on the teams that I truly, truly love and root for and things like that. But if anybody knows me, when it comes to football, I'm a big Ohio State fan. And, I was super disappointed when they did lose that championship game. And I mean, I'm sorry, the game, because it was the championship game for the Big Ten. But still, we got aspirations thinking about the Final Four and, possibly playing Cincinnati maybe in an all-state game. That would have been great. But you know what? That got upended because Michigan decided for the first time in almost a decade to actually beat Ohio State. And they did a great job of doing it as well, too. So when I look at this game coming into it, I feel like Michigan's coming in here with a very hot hand. And they have a defense that can combat that very middling Georgia offense. Yeah, I said middling because Georgia's offense never got tested by anybody but Alabama this season. And their defense was absolutely epic. But when you are that good defensively, your offense doesn't have to do that much. Now, in this game, I feel like this one is going to be a game of inches. And I think that it's going to come down to who has the better running game. And at this point in time, Michigan looks to have the better running game. And then Michigan does have somebody on their side that's going to be very helpful. They have a guy who's an NFL guy that was literally sent to the Michigan program by Big Brother Harbaugh to help out Little Brother Harbaugh. And that's what was the difference in the game with Ohio State, is that they had a better defensive scheme for Ohio State that day. Even though Ohio State scored 27 points, it didn't matter. They still had the defense in place that stopped them when it needed to stop them. And I feel like this can late into this big semifinal game. I love Michigan in this spot. And I hate to say I love Michigan in this spot because it's hard for me to say something like that. And it's hard. Okay, so pretty much there it is. There it is with that. And I think that that's exactly where I'm going to go with this one. And so hopefully everything works out for us in the long run for that game. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And we'll just go from there. Okay, so pretty much. Pretty much. Sorry about that. Just have to send a quick message out. All right, so there it is. I love Michigan in the spot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. Now we have the Outback Bowl, which is going to be a really good game tonight, and I think that we'll wind up. On New Year's Day, and that's going to be our first New Year's game of the day as well. Too, you got Penn State going against Arkansas. This is a good old Big Ten versus SEC matchup right here. Usually, what happens in the state of Florida as well too when you get the Outback Bowl and the Citrus Bowl. It's so crazy that they returned the name of the Citrus Bowl back to the Citrus Bowl because, as you guys all know, the Citrus Bowl for a long time was the Capital One Bowl, but now they've returned that game back over to them. So pretty much you have this spot where you have two teams kind of going in the same, kind of building towards better seasons next year. And I truly do think that when it comes down to this game right here, I think that Penn State being 6-6 against the spread, 7-5 on the season, they've went under in 9 out of their 12 games. Also, as the underdog, they've went ahead and actually 1-3 straight up as the underdog, and then they're 2-2 against the spread. And then also the Arkansas game, they're 7-5 against the spread, and then also they've went over in 7 out of their 12 games. They're 6-1 straight up as a favorite, and then they're 3-4 against the spread. Now, I think that I'm going to take who I feel is the better team in this spot, and I know that they're going to be a dog as well too, but it's fine because Penn State has answered the question this year, and they're 1-0 against the SEC this season as well too. I'm very confident in what I see with Penn State. They got a great coach. Arkansas, they just now got back to being a really, really good program. I feel like this right here won't be what their end goal is with their new coach. This is great that they made a bowl game, and a bowl game that's on New Year's Day as well too, and that's a great accomplishment in itself. But I think Penn State played a very tough schedule here in the last 6 weeks of the season that really sets them up for a good game, a good spot, a monster upset here in Tampa. That's what I see here. I love Penn State in this game. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. Now, let's move on. We have the number 15 team in the nation, Iowa, going at number 22, Kentucky. This is another Big Ten SEC matchup. This game is going to be in Orlando. And the good old Citrus Bowl. This is always the game that's between I think the third place team in the Big Ten and the third place team in the SEC. And so that means Ohio State got sent here a lot of years losing to Michigan and everything like that. I remember watching this game tons of times being like, damn, can they win the bowl game too? And so pretty much, SEC has always showed they true colors during bowl season that's why they get the love that they get. But all in all, to the game, we have Iowa here, who's going to be a dog, which they rarely are. They were a dog 4 times this year, going 2-2 as the dog straight up and against the spread. Now, when it comes down to the spread, they are 7-6, and they've went under in 7 out of their 13 games this year. Now, Kentucky, 8-4 against the spread. They've went over in 8 out of their 12 games, and they are really good as a favorite this year. Straight up 7-1, 5-3 against the spread. When I look at this game, I want to say Iowa here, but Kentucky ended the season in such a fun fashion. I think that this is another team that's building towards a bigger future. And I think that it all starts here today. It all starts at the Citrus Bowl against a great team like Iowa, who was good all season. really play good football, but they play on the weaker side of the Big Ten. So I feel Kentucky can go into this game with the schedule that they played this season. I think that they go ahead and get themselves a very good win, but it's going to be a close game. So I'm money lining this one. So there it is, the Citrus Bowl. Iowa versus Kentucky should be a whole lot of fun from Orlando. Then we have the Fiesta Bowl, which is going to be in Glendale, Arizona, over at the stadium where I guess it used to be the University of Phoenix. It's State Farm now, I guess State Farm Stadium or something of that nature. But if they change names, but the stadium in Glendale, Fiesta Bowl, we all remember the Fiesta Bowl once being the national championship game until they got into some trouble with, the presidents and committees and things of that nature. But all in all, Notre Dame makes another trip to the Fiesta Bowl. They've been to this game dozens of times. And then you have Oklahoma State, who hasn't been to this game in some time now, but this is going to still wind up being a heavy, heavy game. We got number 9, Oklahoma State, going at number 5, Notre Dame. Notre Dame coming into the game very confident. Notre Dame, at the end of the day, they kind of got duped a little bit. They was 11-1, but they played absolutely nobody. If they would have had Michigan State and Michigan on the schedule this year, they would be playing in the CFP. I promise you that. I promise you that, because I think they would have beat both of them, to be honest with you. But you know what? This is a whole new look with Notre Dame, but I don't think that means absolutely anything. You got an Oklahoma State team that doesn't really get to bowl games like this one. They're 9-4 against the spread. They've went under in 6 out of their 12 games with a push. Then also they have, as an underdog this year, they've been the underdog 3 times. They're 3-0 against the spread. Then they're 2-1 straight up as the underdog. Now Notre Dame is 9-3 against the spread. They're 6-6 over and under, and also they are 9-0 straight up as the favorite. Also, when it comes down to the spread, they're 7-2 as the favorite. I think that this one right here, they want to win one big for their brand new coach. Okay, I know that they felt a little slighted by the fact that Brian Kelly just left him hanging, and it seemed like when they announced the assistant who was going to be the new head coach, they absolutely were in love with that situation. I think that they're going to go run through a brick wall for this coach. I think Notre Dame actually wins this game pretty big, to be honest with you. I don't think Oklahoma State has enough offensively to keep up with Notre Dame if they can get the game into gear the way that they want to. So I like Notre Dame in this spot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. Now we move forward and we have ourselves the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. It's just sad that the game don't come on ABC no more, but it's okay. ABC, ESPN, they're all the same family, so it works out. It's cool. It is what it is. But we all know that the Rose Bowl is the most significant bowl of them all. This is the one bowl that never goes, that you literally know they ain't gonna go nowhere. Okay, and usually they don't have big sponsors for this game because they don't need a big sponsor. They got the city of Pasadena helping out. So pretty much this is the hometown. This is the game that is like the biggest event of the year in the city that I grew up in, Pasadena, California. Also, the parade is the lead off to the biggest event in the city, and it all starts the first day of the year. So it's going to be pretty crazy over in my neck of the woods the next weekend. So you got Utah coming into town, and they're 10-3. Then you got Ohio State 10-2. Ohio State 6.5. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. I know a lot of people probably think, well, Ohio State's probably gonna go into the ball game and be like, oh, we want to get a national championship. Nope. This is the Rose Bowl. This game is what every Pac-12, what every big school plays for, a chance to play in the Rose Bowl. Getting to the CFP is nice because that rewards you for having a really, really good season, and they vote you into the Final Four. But the sole purpose of being in both these conferences is playing in this game right here at least once in your career. This game means so much to both of these conferences. That's why the Pac-12, that's why the Rose Bowl committee really never goes away from having their set matchup of the Big Ten and the Pac-12, even if it's not both of the champions like they would prefer. So it is what it is. This is still going to be a monster game. Will probably wind up being the most talked about game of the day, in my opinion, as well, too. And I think what happens here is that Ohio State makes an absolute statement out of a Utah team that has not seen anything like Ohio State run across the field this season. I think when you have a team that got, couldn't get past the BYU, couldn't get past the San Diego State, I think that you're in a heap of trouble. Now, they've played the last few Rose Bowls that Ohio State played in. Those games did get a little out of hand, but the games were competitive. You know what I mean? This one, I don't feel like that's going to happen. And that's no knock on Utah, who's had a great season. They got a great defense. They got all that. But Ohio State just got way too much for them. And I think C.J. Stroud wants to show out for all of his family members and friends that are going to be in Pasadena. The kid is from Rancho Cucamonga. That's about an hour out. So it's going to be crazy come next Sunday at the Rose Bowl. So we'll see how it goes, see how it checks out. And, man, it's going to be a hell of a game. Actually, next Saturday, because if the game would have fell on a Sunday, they would have played it on a Monday because they don't do Sunday New Year's Day games in Pasadena. That's always been a rule. So there it is, Rose Bowl. Ohio State, 6.5. It looks like the number of death, but honestly, it's not because it's going to raise up to about 8.5, 9 by the time we get to kickoff. All right. We move on, and we have ourselves the Sugar Bowl. And in the Sugar Bowl, we have New Orleans with the -7 and Baylor. I mean, not -7, but they're the number 7 team in the nation. Then we also have Ole Miss, who's number 8 in the nation, and they are 10-2. Baylor is 11-2. And pretty much we have ourselves with the very, very, very weird type of game. You don't know where this game's really going to go to. When I look at my notes on this game as well too, both these teams have been they're not used to the positions that they should be in. Like Baylor being a favorite. Yes, they were a favorite 8 times this season, but they were barely like, they wasn't giving them like -30s. They was kind of scared with Baylor, like -4, things like that. They gave them cover. They covered a lot of games that they could easily cover. Now, they're 9-4 against the spread on the year. They've went under in 8 out of their 13 games this season as well, too. But they're 7-1 as the favorite. They're 7-1 straight up as the favorite. And that's also as that's also for the spread as well, too. And they've went over in 5 out of those 8 games as the favorite. So every game as a favorite has went over. Now you have Ole Miss coming into this game. They are 9-3 against the spread. Absolutely great record this season against the spread. Then they've went under in 9 out of 12 games. I was really surprised by that. This is a Lane Kiffin team with 9 unders in a 12 game season. That's kind of weird. And then we have the against the spread and straight up. The underdog they're 2-2. So, when you look at this game, I tend to go ahead and go with the team that I feel has had the season nobody expected. And I think that Ole Miss is a team that's going to challenge Bama in the years to come because Lane Kiffin is going to recruit from the JUCO level. You know what I mean? Because that's what he does. He recruits from the JUCO level, and he's right there in Mississippi where he got a whole bunch of talent from that really, really popular community college that produces a lot of NFL guys down there as well too. So he has that as his backyard, his lifeblood. And I think that this one right here could be a game where another one of these, this is where the program really took off at moments, but I really do like Baylor to come on in here, even though they say they're their favorite. They won't be the favorite at kick at this point. I think that this is more of a pick'em game where Ole Miss will be the slight favorite by the time we get to the kick. I like Baylor to go into the Sugar Bowl and get themselves a big win. And this is going to be a awesome game. So I really do like where it's going here, and I think that everybody should be ready for a very good night of football here when it comes to the classic Sugar Bowl, because the Sugar Bowl is another classic as well too, but the Rose Bowl is different. That's the granddaddy of them all. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and when I get back, we'll go ahead and we'll get into the state of the Lakers and NBA Thursday night. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live with Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, here we are. It's time. Let's go ahead and jump into. Let me go ahead and break down the NFL real quick. I was supposed to start the show with that, so let me go ahead and jump into that for you guys real quick with the NFL and everything what we got going on tonight and Thursday night football. Now, Thursday night football, we have ourselves a very good. Well, I don't have the graphic up, but you guys already know Thursday night football. I'm going to just let you guys know right now. I think that this is going to be a make or break game pretty much for the Titans. The Titans need it a little bit more than the Niners do. I think the Niners are absolutely good where they're at right now. So if they go 8-7 this week, it won't be that big of a deal for them because they have wins over the next teams up that would be able to take their spot. And I don't see the Vikings beating the Rams on Sunday. So I think that, the 49ers, if they wind up dropping this game, 49er Nation, don't go into a panic attack about it. I think the Titans are just so good as a dog. It's hard to bet against them. So I'll give you guys my bets in a moment, but let's go ahead and get on to the let's get back into the NBA and everything real quick. We have ourselves the state of the Lakers right now as well, too. State of the Lakers tonight. Lakers coming in here, losers of 3 in a row. And now they get to play against San Antonio, a team that they know very well. They've already beat San Antonio this season as well, too. I think they beat them twice this year as well. So the Lakers need a win. And it would be nice to get a win the final night that they call Staples Center, because Saturday is going to become the crypto.com arena. And a lot of us are feeling a little bittersweet about that moment, but it is what it is at the end of the day, right? You pretty much have yourself that situation where you have that's in place to where, hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just what the situation is calling for. So I say to myself, that I say to you guys that you got to put yourself in a position right now to know that the Lakers, like I keep saying, we are getting closer to the Christmas game, right? So, since we're getting closer to the Christmas game, there won't be any more excuses for these guys, in my opinion, for me. You know what I mean? It just won't be any more excuses for the Lakers, in my opinion. I'm sorry. It just won't be. So, Okay, so pretty much we have ourselves a very good game. We got ourselves a pretty good game. And so I think the Lakers tonight, they should be able to take care of their business and everything like that. I don't want to get too far into it because, I talk about it every day. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that we are in a position now to where things have to start picking up, or it's just not going to be any parades going on in LA. Ain't gonna be no it ain't gonna be no parades on Pico, okay? And I'm just gonna be honest about that right now. The way the Lakers are playing, it might be a first round exit. You know what I mean? So the Lakers got to get better. They truly do. They got to get better. This is just very unacceptable the way that they are playing basketball, but it's understandable. What can you do if you're not healthy, right? So I just keep saying, just wait. The Lakers should be on the way. They're 3-3 in their last 6, and that's what's pissing everybody off because they're not below average. They're just middling, and and a lot of these guys and a lot of us fans didn't sign up for middling. But at the end of the day, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I feel good about what this team is doing moving forward. Even though the last 3 games haven't looked great, still, I like this team's attitude, and I like the fact that they like playing with each other. We just know that we might need to get rid of some people that we might need to just add in people that are going to be a little bit more helpful towards what we're trying to do. But I'm going to be dead honest with you right now. If you ask me, could the Lakers win a championship this year? No, not at all. Could the Lakers get past the first round? Maybe. If they are a certain seed or something of that nature, but not as a 7th or 8th seed. Not if they had to see the Warriors in the first round. Not if they had to see the Suns in the first round. And I'm always quick to be, hey, we can do this. But I'm just going to be honest with you. Those teams play with way better structure than the Lakers. So it doesn't matter how many future Hall of Famers you have on your team. They're going to cook you. So it's that simple. But when it comes down to the Utahs of the world, the Denvers of the world, who else is somewhat in the group right now? Moving on up. Memphis is of the world. The Lakers do have a chance, but then at the same time, they can get embarrassed by those teams as well, too. So there's just a lot of things that need to be fixed right now with the Lakers. And I think that they need to add in some if you're going to really be adding in players, though, on a trade deadline, don't trade for more old people. Trade for young guys that can help your team and be durable and be available. You know what I mean? It seems like when you got the older guys, they're going to always have an injury that puts them out for a week or two. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But state of the Lakers should be all right tonight. I think that they go ahead and get themselves a nice win. They always try to bless the crowd right before Christmas, so we'll see how it goes. I think they have a great night, though. That's what I'm banking on. So, Lake Show, let's go. All right, so we move on, and it's time to talk about Thursday night in the NBA. Up first, we got the Knicks and the Wizards going at it. The Wizards coming into this game. The time is kind of caught up with them, just like it caught up with the Knicks. The Knicks, a team that now are 9-16 since being 5-1. And also you have a Wizards team at this point right now. I think they were about 8-3 at one point in the season. Right now they're 16-15. So that means that they haven't done too well in their last 20. But all in all, they're still a really good team. So, I like the Wizards tonight. They got a good win over the Jazz as well, too. Jazz are one of the better teams in the NBA right now. And I know that they had to take a game off as well, too, because of the COVID situation and everything like that. They were unable to play Brooklyn on Tuesday night. So now they get to line it up with the Knicks tonight. And I like the fact that they had to wait a little bit. Now, the Knicks coming to this game, they're playing a little bit better basketball, but they beat up on 2 really bad teams in these because they've won the last 2 out of 3. So they lost to Boston in the middle, but they beat Houston and they beat Detroit. But that's much better than what it was, though, because they have been getting absolutely cooked these last few weeks. So I think that tonight, though, the Wizards come in here. It's Madison Square Garden. Everybody loves to play big at the Garden. I think that the Wizards do play big at the Garden tonight. I love them with the as the dog of the day today. I got them at plus 140 as well, too. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But I think we're on to something here with our dogs of the day in this spot. I think that we can go ahead and get that bad boy home. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out, and we roll from there. So pretty much we have ourselves a very, very, very good way of going about today, though, I think, with the NBA. So I think when it comes down to this one, you will have two teams that really, really do need to win, but I think the Wizards are the much better team here. So that's why I tend to go with them. And I'm not saying that they're that much better than the Knicks. It's just that the Knicks just disappointed me that they got off to such a great start. And then the coach started getting too much of an ego. And then you want to put guys on the bench because they're not doing what you want them to do. But, you know, you brought them in here so you could take this team to the next level. I think that all in all, that was a bad move. You can't bench Kemba Walker. He's an all-star. Like, I know he might not have been doing what you wanted him to do, but you're gonna bench him for a guy who's a bench player. Like, literally, Alec Burks is a bench player. He's good, but he's not good enough he's not better than Kemba Walker. It does not matter how you want to run your team. So it is what it is at the end of the day, man. That's why I'm taking the Wizards, because I just don't like the way Tibbs is coaching his team. I just don't think that. I think that he's being more of a tyrant than actually trying to build this team up and actually help this team grow into being a significant team in the NBA again, because the Knicks, we need them. You know, we can't. The Eastern Conference is boring because we don't have the Knicks being one of the top teams in the conference. It's that simple. Okay. All right. So we got the Bucks and the Mavs tonight. The Bucks coming in here as a nice little favorite tonight and everything like that on the road. And you have the Mavericks, who are 15 and 15 on the year. They're going through it, but they did get a good win over here at home last time out, beating the Wolves by 12. So I think tonight, going into this game, you got a Bucks team that lost their last 3 out of 5 games, and they beat up on teams that really aren't that good. Now, the 3 teams they did lose to, other than New Orleans, they're pretty good right now. Cleveland beat them by 29 the other night, and Boston beat them by 14. So this team is still going through the motions a little bit. Giannis is going to be sidelined tonight as well too. Luka's going to be out as well too. But I trust the world champions a bit more in this spot. I like them on the money line tonight. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. Now, we got the Hornets and the Nuggets tonight. This is going to be a battle of two teams that can score at a big, high clip. And, you know, Charlotte always is up to scoring a whole bunch of points. They lead the league in scoring. They're at 115 points per game. So I think what happens here is that you have a game that winds up going over tonight because Denver's been trending really well with the over lately, and they've been they before the other night only scoring 94 points against the Thunder. They had went over 110 points in like their last 10 games. So that's pretty good for a team that started off the season with a lot of unders. Now, the Hornets, on the other hand, they've lost their last 4 out of 5 games. They're kind of struggling right now because they're just trying to get into the groove. But see, this is the thing about the Hornets. They're a streaky team. If they're losing, then they lose 4 out of 5. If they're winning, they win 5 out of 6. So this team is going to be back and forth all season long. It depends on how the health works on their team. The Nuggets, on the other hand, though, we're still waiting on Jamal Murray. So the jury's still out on what the Nuggets are going to end up being because, as you guys all know, MPJ is out for the season. And he might be out for the foreseeable future as well, too, because he re-aggravated that back injury that pretty much held up his college career. So Hornets Nuggets is a game you just scoreboard watch, and I think this one goes over. So there it is. There it is. We move on, and we have ourselves the Wolves at the Jazz. The Wolves coming in here in this divisional game, going against the Jazz. The Wolves are a different breed for me this year. They're 15 and 16, but they're just like the team I just got done talking about. It's just like the Hornets. You'll win 4 out of 5, then you lose 5 out of 6. You win, and it's been back and forth. That's why they're a 15-16 team right now. But they had won 4 in a row before losing their last game to Dallas. Then you have a Jazz team that lost 2 really bad home games. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't lose by a lot of points, but they lost to teams that they weren't supposed to lose to. San Antonio beat them by 2. The Wizards beat them by 6, and the Wizards came in there on like a 7-game losing streak. So I don't know. The Jazz seem like they're up to task, but they've been killing the West a little bit more than the East this year. So that's where I think we can go ahead and say to ourselves that, okay, this is another home game for them tonight. This is their 5th in a row. It's the day. It's right before Christmas, so it should be a pretty good night tonight. When it comes down to the Jazz covering, right? Nope, I'm not taking +12 on the Jazz. I'm gonna take the Wolves with the +12. I think that they're gonna actually shock the system a bit tonight, and they may not win the game, but they're not gonna lose by more than 12. Okay, so I'm taking them with the +12 tonight. Let's see how it goes. All right, nightcap: Grizzlies at the Warriors. Grizzlies are one of the rare teams this season to win in San Francisco at the Chase Center. So the Grizzlies coming in here with a boatload of confidence going against the Warriors tonight. The Warriors might be over here thinking about Christmas Day. You know, Curry, you got kids and stuff and a wife. So, you know, that might be on his mind a little bit more than this Grizzlies game, especially when you know that you're the leader in the clubhouse when it comes to the whole NBA, you and the Suns. So I think the Grizzlies come in here and they'll play with some great effort tonight. They're not going to lay down for the Jazz tonight at all. I mean, not for the Jazz, but for the Warriors tonight at all. Warriors coming in here 25-6. The Grizzlies 19-3. I'm not saying the Grizzlies win the game. I'm not even taking a side here. But what I'm going to do, though, here is say the under is the play here. I think that's exactly what happens in this spot is that these teams are going to defend well tonight, and they wind up going under. Now, a possibility of the Grizzlies winning, yeah, that can happen because they already won up here before, and they'll have that in the back of their head that they've already beat the Warriors in San Francisco, something that only 2 other teams can say they did. So with that, I say let's go ahead and see how it goes, see how it shakes out, and I think that we're on to something here. So I like it. I like the under here in the with the Grizzlies and Warriors tonight. So there it is. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves into your favorite topic, my favorite topic. You guys already know what time it is. It's time to talk them tickets, and I got some good ones here for you. That's all I can say. I got some good tickets here for you. I'm just putting in the little note that I need to put in real quick. And there we go, talking tickets, and here we go. Up first, we have ourselves the Gasparilla Bowl. The Gasparilla Bowl is going to be between 2 Florida teams, and I'm going to go with the Gators with the 6.5 full game, then also take them on the 3.5 for the first half. And also we have the over 13 first quarter as well, too. And we're going to play the Florida over 31.5 team total. So that's our Florida bets for today. Now we move forward and we have ourselves the NBA Super High Five. As I said before, Wizards money line is going to be the dog of the day. The Bucks are our other money line play at -150. Then we have the over 230.5 with the Hornets and the Nuggets. I know it's a big number, but I think we're going to hit it. And then we have the Wolves with the +12. And then also we have the Grizzlies and Warriors tonight under 216.5, giving you a 27-1 ticket tonight in the Super High Five in the NBA. And then we finish up with our Thursday night football bets. I got the Titans on the money line tonight, +165. Also have the over 21.5 with the first half with this game as well too. And then also Titans first quarter +0.5 point. That just means we need to be tied or up. That's it. And then we also have the 49ers going under 23.5 on the team total tonight. I think the Titans defense absolutely steps it up tonight and has themselves a good game against Jimmy G and the 49ers offense. So there it is. There it is. Another great show today. And we had a show prior to this. This is why the show came on so late today. I usually will never start the show at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but today was a different day. We went a little bit over in our last show, and I got a little busy as I was putting together the script for this one. So I thank you guys very much for tuning in today. If we don't have a show tomorrow, I'll probably do a Talkin Tickets on IG, but horsing around will be ready to go Christmas Day. That's what I'm shooting for, doing it Christmas Day midday, or I may do it tomorrow. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. So since it's Christmas Eve and everything, but opening day at Santa Anita is Sunday as well too. So be prepared for horsing around. We're going to be doing horsing around on a daily basis as well too, or whenever race days are happening as well. And I'm going to try to start having interviews and everything that are inputting interviews and everything within the show. So it's just not all about just talking about the horses and everything like that. You guys can see I got a little bit of juice over at my playground, the great race place, Santa Anita. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. If you got a hunch, bet a bunch. The movement is moving, and I'm the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and this is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles. And if I don't see you until after Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. So you guys, I bid adieu, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.